Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you're watching this, and welcome to another edition of Talk of the Tiger. You're here with Uncle Jimbo. Good morning. How are you?
Uncle Jimbo's doing great. Uncle Jimbo.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm doing really, really well. Had a wonderful evening. Yes, myself and Karen and Colin and Meredith went to see Jerry Seinfeld and Jim Gaffigan at the United Center, which a nice little intimate place. 23,000 people, all just cheering and laughing their butts off along with us. Brilliant comedy. Really had a great time. And I mean, I'm used to seeing comedy, but usually in small clubs,
Yeah.
through the years. And to see a stadium, cheering and laughing was really, this is stadium laughter, stadium humor.
Yeah.
And it really worked, and big screens, and it was a lot of fun.
That's like back in the height of Steve Martin's comedy career when he was playing. He had gone from the little clubs in the LA area to playing a stadium. And
I
it's
know.
yeah,
We
wow.
got to see him in Second City, and that's when he still had the arrow through
Yeah.
his head, and we were just laughing our butts off. And look what happened. He just exploded.
Yeah. You notice today my shirt.
I love that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We saw that
We
tour.
can unplug. Great.
Yeah. With your friend Harry Shearer.
Oh, love Harry. So you went to that show?
Yeah, the acoustic show, the one at the Chicago Theater we saw.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was fun. And
Yeah,
I
Harry
I
is
just
a
love I love
yeah.
the acoustic flying V.
Ah, that's so Spinal Tap. I love
Mhm.
that.
All right, let's dive into this week's topics. First off, you just played a fundraising benefit concert for a performing arts center in Elmhurst, Illinois, and your co-host was one of Elmhurst's own, the fabulous Cathy Richardson. How was that?
Well, first of all, it's honored to be asked. Cathy and I go back. Well, she was like 19, and the scared little girl came over to my house at behest of a music attorney in town, Linda Mensch, and she was like a scared little bird, and then she took out her guitar and opened up with, you know, these amazing songs, and I produced her first album, Moon Not Banana, and the rest is history. And now she's, for many years now, the star of Jefferson Starship.
Yeah.
And and she's always giving back. And her dream, along with a few other people, was to do this performing arts center in Elmhurst. So this was one of the main fundraisers for that venue. And myself and what we call the Jive Five, which is me and the Ides plus Scott. Um, we played, and of course, Cathy joined us on stage. And then there was a Q&A and a signing, and it was just a wonderful event. And I think the team raised a lot of money for this Elmhurst Center.
Great, good deal. And I mean, Cathy is very involved in her community, and as you're right, very involved in giving back. So yeah, and she's just a powerhouse. There's just no two ways about it.
No doubt. And joining the Ides on stage for like Blue Storm Rising and a few others just killed. The people were on their feet,
Yeah,
the combined energy.
and she had shared on Facebook. She had shared a little story. She had shared a photo of her as that young, scared teenage girl in her bedroom with a Jefferson airplane or Jefferson Starship poster on the wall. And she said, that 19-year or whatever 18-year-old me there would never believe that today I'm fronting that band.
How
And I
prescient
mean,
is
what
that?
an incredible story. I mean, and she's earned every bit of it. And
Oh
the
my,
fact that she is Grace's officially blessed replacement by her, I mean, that really says something about Cathy. So
oh
good,
yeah,
good deal.
I always call her a force of nature.
Yeah.
She comes up there, it's just
Yep. Stand
everybody.
back.
Yeah, stand back.
Yeah. All right. Then the Ides all packed into the VW minibus, and you headed up to Lake Geneva, and you performed at a new for you venue, Geneva Stage. And tell me how that gig went. It's always
Well,
interesting when you play a brand new venue.
I know we didn't know what to expect, and it was this really cool little theater, 300 seats. And we didn't know, how many tickets we sold, or we just went in there hoping for the best, and the place was full. And that was a great feeling. And a lot of friends, a lot of fans. We looked out there, and there was a lot of our super fans, what we call them. They're really super friends that were in the first few rows, and it's always great to see, you know, uh, Joyce Plulis and her team. Uh,
The
it,
extremes.
well, exactly. I
Yep.
mean, uh, that goes far back when we played Bowling Green, and they all came up and surprised the Ides, all in a big school bus, and they all spilled out to see us in Bowling Green with their extreme fan yellow shirts, like a bunch of bees exiting the bus.
Yep.
And Joyce Palulis and the whole team,
And
Sue and
Jeannie and
Jeannie
all of them. Yeah.
Makota. I mean, these are the stalwarts, and it's always good and always a good feeling to see them in the audience, because you know that they're going to be cheering louder than anybody else.
Yeah. You won't find a more loyal group of fans than the extremes. So,
Oh.
all right. Now we've got some upcoming shows to talk about. Cornerstones of Rock has been not doing anything for a little while, but you're coming back November 25th, and you're coming back to a place you're all very familiar with, the Arcada in St. Charles.
Yeah, it's like old home day, and we're like a troop of veterans, as it were, and we have such a great team, and we've lost a few members um, along the years, most notably Jimmy Sands, who now, for the last 3 years, Dan Buck of the Boys has been doing the Jimmy Sands tribute and just tearing it up. And we just love honoring Jimmy, because he was one of my first inspirations. We auditioned for Paul Sampson at the Cellar when with the Ides of March, and there's Jimmy Sands leading the parade with the Shadows doing a sound check, and I'm going, okay, we got a high bar to meet here, guys. Jimmy was the what I call the snarling wild man. Actually, he's the nicest, sweetest guy in the world, but his persona was always so fierce. But we do a great tribute to him, and of course, Tom Duty's coming in from the West Coast for the Crying Shame set. All the great songs, and Jimmy Pilster, of course, and the New County Six, with so many of the original members. It is so great to have the New County Six in their great catalog of I will. That's the wrong key. I knew I shouldn't have tried it. I will always think about you. Well, anyway,
It's
Ronnie
early.
does it a lot better, but it's just a great catalog of songs. New County Six, Crying Shames, Ides of March. You've heard of them. We're kind of like the host band, and we play. We start the show, and then we bring everyone on, and we play behind everyone else until the break, and then the fabulous Buckinghams come on, and they bring down the house. They bring all their ammunition, all their hits, and then at the end of the day, we come back for Bend Me, Shape Me, which is always the classic homage to Gary Loizo and the American Breed, and that just puts a nice cap on everything.
Absolutely. It's a fun show. It's a
Yeah.
great trip down memory lane.
Yeah.
Okay. Since it is the season, apparently, because I've been hearing commercials on TV playing Christmas music already. I guess it's not too early to talk about the annual holiday tradition of the Ides Christmas shows. And you got two of them coming up. First one is December 2nd at the Acorn Theater in Three Oaks, Michigan. And then the following weekend, you've got one on the 9th at the Des Plaines Theater, which is another Onesti joint. So talk about the Ides Christmas shows this year and what we can expect.
Well, we're starting to get into rehearsals now, and we have the thing about the Ides Christmas shows, we don't really do a lot of traditional, like we wish you a Merry Christmas and stuff like that. We do a lot of originals that have become kind of standards because of the Ides. We play these songs. We've been playing them for 20 years, including at Holy Name Cathedral for 12 years in a row, premiering things like Sharing Christmas. And I remember, Father Dan doing the homily, and then Dick Biondi, the late great Dick Biondi, coming up and telling stories about Christmas. And he said, there is no saint holiday. It's Christmas. Forget this holiday stuff. He always made a point of saying this happy holidays. No, it's Merry Christmas. Anyway, Dick, we miss Dick a lot, but we premiered a lot of new songs at those masses. And then every year we've kind of created our own classic Christmas songs, and full of the harmony and the joy of the Ides of March arrangements, songs like Sharing Christmas and many others. And Larry gets to sing. We all get to sing. It's very much a kind of the Ides madrigal at Christmas. And we still look forward to these shows.
Absolutely. They're fun, and it's a good feeling. It's a great way to get the season started. So, all right. Now, let's go and talk about the upcoming Roots and Shoots Volume 1, the new Jim Peterik and World Stage album that is coming out in January. And we've just released the first video from that was shot at Greg Bizarro's studio, and that was with you and Kevin Cronin and REO Speedwagon. So talk about the video for Dangerous Combination.
Yeah, that really turned out great. Of course, Kevin and I go back. I mean, he was a kid in the audience when the Ides of March were playing Blue Village in Westmont. Of course, I didn't know he was there, but he sure saw us. And unbeknownst to me, he became this huge Ides of March fan, so much so that when he was head of student council in Evergreen Park, he hired the Ides of March to play their prom. And the Ides came, and there was Kevin dancing with his girlfriend in the tuxedo, and that's where we started our friendship, really. And who knew that all these years later we'd still be fast friends and writing songs together and performing together with the Ides and REO and Survivor and REO. We toured with the Survivor, toured with REO probably 3 years in a row. Wow. In the early 80s. And that was the bill. We opened up for REO, and then, went to some miscellaneous floor on any given hotel. REO always, they created a club called the Dungeon. No matter where they were, it might have been the 13th floor, but it was the Dungeon. That's where we lofted a drink and celebrated the show. And that's when I really bonded with Kevin even more. And so a few years ago, we wrote this song called Dangerous Combination. And it came out on an REO album in 19, but 19 was not a great year for anything. It was just coming into the COVID in 2020. And it needed a second chance, no pun intended. But we recreated it as a duet. And Dangerous Combination, of course, was about a boy and a girl, or a man and a woman in the song. But when we were singing it, we thought of each other and raising hell on the road and having a great time. We were the Dangerous Combination. And So it became a great video. And of course, Greg Bizzarro is one of the masters of creating scenarios on screen.
Absolutely. However, it was not just that video that you shot. It was a busy couple of days there at Jaffe Studios because you also shot the video for a song that's not released yet, but it's called Last Dream Home, which I believe was a co-write with Uncle Lair. And Don
Uh,
Barnes came into town, and you and Don, speaking of old friends, shot another video.
yeah, Larry Millis and I wrote this song. It's funny how he became Uncle Lair and I became Uncle Jim. But we are uncles, but but yeah, we wrote the song in Last Dream Home, and Don Barnes heard it and loved it, and he actually contributed some lyrics, and he didn't ask to be credited for it, but there's some lyrics of Don's in there that made it more Don, you know. And he said, "Well, that one line's kind of cliched, isn't it?" I go, "Well, I guess it is." Anyway, so he improved the song, but no, I don't want credit. I just want to sing it. And so he came to town, and what a great person! What a great um, attitude. He's always been Mr. Positive, you know. Um, and of course, Greg is such a facilitator, and Larry Millis was on bass just like he was on the recording, and Eddie Breckenfeld on drums, and we cut a great video, and I can't wait for everyone to see this. And it'll be coming out after, probably late in the year. So look forward to that.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. This album is going to be great. I mean, the artists you've got on it, we've already talked about Cronin and Barnes. So why don't you throw out a few more of the names? Because there's a lot of new discoveries in this. It's not just
Well,
that's the thing
besides,
with Roots and Shoots is the old guard and the new ones.
well, let me unpack some of the old guard. Besides that, Kelly Kagi, we wrote a great song together. Mark Farner, we wrote a great song together. And then the Shoots, and I might be leaving someone out. I don't have my list in front of me, but uh, the Shoots are new discoveries. There's a gal named Christine Trammell out of Florida, happens to be Greg Barnhill's sister, and he's the great songwriter, of course, and a dear friend. And Christine's his sister, and she lives in New Orleans and finds a lot of caches of young artists down in that area. And one of her first discoveries that she presented to me was Ashton Brooke Gill, 24 years old, sings like a bird. And Bill Sinar and I wrote a song for her that is going to blow everybody away. And that's going to be on Roots and Shoots Volume 2. And that, or is that on 1? I'm getting confused. I think it's on 1. It is on 1. And it's called As I Am. And, it's self-discovery. It's accepting yourself as I am, no matter what anybody says. And it's a very empowering song.
Yep. And then you've got a song that Colin wrote on there.
Oh my God. Yeah, Colin Peterik, you've heard of him.
I've heard of him. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I knew he was talented. At age 4, he got up at a birthday party and played Happy Birthday, just note perfect. And I go, okay, this kid's got it, And he would sing along with the Ren and Stimpy theme an octave higher perfectly. I said, this guy's got the gene. It's the gene that was transferred down from my father and my grandfather. And of course, yeah, I'm really, really proud of Colin. He's about to put out his second solo album. And then he has the franchise called Brooklyn Charmers, which is I humbly say, as his father, the best Steely Dan tribute band out there. And if you ever get to see the Brooklyn Charmers, it's really funny when I go to I'm at a store or something, and oh, aren't you Jim Peterik? A husband or a wife, and I go, yeah, your son is amazing. I go, yeah, thank you very much. What about?
Hi, I'm Colin's dad.
Yeah. Well, I love it though. I
Yep.
am so proud of him, and It was great. Last night, Meredith and he and Karen and I went to see Jim Gaffigan and Jerry Seinfeld, and we're on the floor laughing. So it was just a good time.
Also, we have Paul Childers
Oh,
and, well, you mentioned Ashton. Then we have Lisa McClowry and Dave McCulskis and Leslie Hunt. It's, yeah, Mark McKay, who's another new discovery.
yeah. I mean, you're mentioning, there's so many. I'm glad you have it in your brain and on the list, because I've been working on this album now for 5 months, so it's kind of all it's not a blur, but
Yeah. And you've also been working on
everyone was a passion project, and I think it shows.
and you've been working on volume 2, so there's even more names to be floating around in there. So, which we're not going to talk about much now, but just so you know, there is a volume 2 coming sometime next year. So we'll more details on that when we get closer.
Probably May for volume 2 of Roots and Shoots.
All right. So tomorrow is a national holiday, I think. It's Armand, it should be. Tomorrow is your birthday, sir, and you are going to be 73.
I know. I feel like I've been 72 for 2 years, because 73 is a great landmark, and I'm just really proud of that. And they even have a parade for my day. I mean, who knew? But I'll take it. And tomorrow we're all going over to my sister's house for a big brunch, and the whole family will be there, and it's great. It's great being 73, and like proud of every year, and just hope to keep going, like maybe forever,
Yeah.
which would
not
be great.
Slowing down.
No, don't want to slow down. You calcify if you slow down. You don't want to do that.
So, all right, that's it for this week. And like I said, get ready for the Christmas shows. All the gigs are listed up on the on Jim's website, the Ides website, also on the Facebook pages. Keep an eye from Frontiers for the pre-order and the release for Roots and Shoots Volume 1. If you look for Frontiers, just released the video for Dangerous Combinations, so that's out there. And if you want to make sure you get these as soon as they're released, make sure you're subscribed to this channel and that you have hit the like and the little bell, and you'll get notifications when we, as they say, drop one. So I believe, since I see a guitar in your hand, that you're about to serenade us. Go for it.
It's dedicated to you, Paul, because you've helped me for the last 22 years.
Wow. Spread
the word and share music and even go on the road with me. And that's a dangerous combination. Because you've got the eye of the tiger. The eye of the tiger. Paul Brown's got the eye of the tiger. All my fans, all my friends got the eye of the tiger. Listen to you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul.
Great God in heaven, you know I love you.